Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan. And we got John back in the seat again.
He's here.
Hello. He's here.
Look at him.
Here.
Point and laugh.
Hear at him. Hear him. Hear around. Hear his.
I enjoy it.
Yes.
He's a bit of a masochist.
We have had a pretty good night so far, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill.
I think so.
We got a chance to hang out with Chase and Ethan.
Went and got some grub.
Yeah, got some food, and we hung out for a bit. We played some games. Dylan booted up an old classic, apparently.
Yeah, an old Rareware classic.
Yeah,
from that era.
Yeah, from the 2005 era. Yeah,
it was Kameo, Elements of Power.
Yes, we thought. Well, I had suggested. I was like, John was available. And we were thinking about
right until recently.
Yeah. He all of a sudden had a free schedule, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess we can't,
waste not, want not.
Flus come and go.
Yeah, yeah. He got
just like that.
Exactly. Yep. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, we've done a pretty good job. We've completed our series. We've had long running episodes, watching long running episodes of a show. And even before that, I was like, you know what? Let's just have a little conversation. Let's just sit back for a second.
Take a breather.
Let's recap what's been going on, because funny enough, I think we all separately have been playing a bunch of different games. Some together, some separate.
Separate, all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot of new shit in the gaming world.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of excited about.
And
so I was like, I think it's one of those times where we just talk about video game shit for a minute.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So first thing on the list, like you were saying a second ago, we were playing this game called Kameo.
Yeah, with a K.
With a K.
Kameo.
Oh.
Kameo. And dude, this is like from the way back.
Yeah.
Like from my early days as a youngin'.
I remember seeing it in like Blockbuster and whatnot.
I remember trying out the demo for it, and then getting it for the 360 alongside fucking Crackdown.
Crackdown? Okay.
Halo 3,
Crackdown.
Hell yeah.
And it clicked. I put so many hours into that little
little
action
game.
platformer.
Yeah.
And it was nuts.
As you were playing it tonight, I was like, I never played it before, but I was like, man, they don't make games like this.
They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Or nothing quite with the same pizzazz.
Especially with the rare flavor.
Yeah.
The swaz.
Yeah.
And
same pizzazz.
Right. Because the way they made their games, at least the way they voiced them, was they didn't really like put any inflections about, like, say if it was a fantasy setting, nobody would really talk like a peasant would back in the day.
Fantasy-esque.
They just grabbed some Cockney dude off the street and was like, hey, read this script.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, sure.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all.
I got this boulder in front of me house.
They just grabbed your average English chaps off the side of the street on their way to afternoon tea, and we're like, we'll pay you to read off these scripts.
Yeah.
And we're just like, how many scripts are you going to give me?
How many are you going to give me?
For reading the script.
How many shillings?
Or how many pounds is my worth to you?
Yeah, or whatever they say over there.
Right. So, that's been fun.
Yeah. It was cool to see that. And then, of course, in that same vein, I'll use this as a little bit of a segue. I was cycling through like my large catalog of liked music on Spotify, and I came through some of the old, like, I say classics Sonic for me, which I know is not classic Sonic for most people in like the 80s and 90s and like, Sega Genesis era. Right. For me, it's like that early PlayStation 2 vibe. And like the games that came up in that
era.
Yeah. And so for me, like things like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, even though it was like hated by all, Sonic 06 was like a launch platform for PlayStation 3. I played that game a whole bunch. So like there's a lot of like Sonic games that, as we've talked about in this show now, obviously I feel like there's a big culture around Sonic that can kind of make it a little cringy.
If you took out the at the end of culture, I think that'd be more accurate.
Yeah. It's like there's a couple of people.
The cult.
The cult of Sonic. And so for me, there's like it's the same thing with saying that like upon a couple episodes ago, I talked about the first anime that I really like the first anime that I was ever blessed with that I didn't even know was really an anime.
Right.
And of course was like learning about was Naruto, which again same sort of thing. Is like it kind of has like a bit of a stigma to it, even though like
because
that was
of the
the
Narutards.
yes,
Yeah.
that was the thing that was the thing
Every high school had one. The guy who would run with his hands backwards.
You're right.
every
Or
single
wore the
one.
fucking headband.
You're right. And so like I watched it, I liked it, but there was a point in time where like even now as an adult, I'm like sometimes it's a bit. I want to go back and watch it because I haven't watched all of Shippuden. I've talked about this on
and
the show.
It's gonna be so much fucking funnier.
And I think it's going to be fun,
Yeah.
and I think I'm going to have a good time about it. But I do think like there's a bit of I don't want to say shame, but there's a bit of like I have to say
guilty
like
pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
yes,
almost.
yes,
A little bit of guilt.
guilty pleasure. I
Yeah.
think is the word, and I feel that a little bit with Sonic as well. I haven't really played any of those Sonic games from my child and teenhood. There's a lot of them on Steam now. Some of the classic ones from like the Sega Genesis and like things like that, the GameCube a little bit,
Yeah.
but nothing from that PS2 era on Steam. So like I haven't quite had the ability to play through Sonic Heroes again, or like I said before, Sonic Riders. I played a whole bunch of them on the Wii, the Secret Ring, the Black Knight, super cool ones.
Super edgy.
Yeah. The Shadow the Hedgehog
Shadow.
game.
Oh,
Talking
Jesus.
about
I didn't talk
edgy.
about
Edgy.
You mean to tell me we got a Sonic game with guns in it?
Oh my
hell
God,
yeah. And we're
dude.
fighting.
I remember.
We're fighting demons.
Yeah, I remember when I
Yes.
was a little kid and I saw that gun in Shadow. I said,
Yeah.
Man,
What?
I had an arsenal of guns.
Yep.
I had a motorcycle, and I was fighting demons. Me
Yep.
as a boy raised
Yeah, I
in the
was like,
South and like a Christian boy, I was like, hell yeah, this is my vibe.
I can I'm only ever
Yeah.
reminded of like the intro sequence.
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
he's like on a fucking mountaintop and he cocks
Yes.
an MP5.
Yes.
It's
Which
MPMI.
you don't do.
Yeah,
No.
obviously.
And then like at one point he like steps in front of this I don't know, soldier or some shit, and he's like breathing heavy, about to spurg out.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
hilarious,
Man,
man.
you're good over there. man?
Yeah. But anyways, it's like shit like that. There's like I know it's probably cringy now, but like the big thing I'm talking about though, the whole reason I brought this up was that there throughout, I feel even through the classic one, like the real classic ones, like arcade type stuff has good Sonic music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they always knew.
But there was but there was always for me there's this section of my life that like I feel like I grew up with like a very special appreciation for music as a person who in that time also became a musician and like played guitar and was like learning about music and stuff, to then like have games like this.
Oh yeah. That was prime real estate.
Things like that. I mean, even like stuff like Halo that I wasn't like, I didn't play firsthand, but like I heard the music a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Things like that had such like a great soundtrack and stuff like that. But specifically, there's a couple of these like really classic. Oblivion.
Right.
Oblivion has such a
yeah.
beautiful soundtrack, and I remember even as like a young person listening to that soundtrack and being like whisked away and being like, wow, this is so musically amazing. And it got me so interested in learning more about music. And I circle back around and I stumbled across a few of these tracks from this time frame, from like Sonic Riders and from even, like I said, Sonic 06, even though the game wasn't that great, fundamentally. The music was so good. It had so much music for every little aspect of the game. It has 3 albums, 3 volumes of like how much music was like in every little aspect of the game, and it was so beautiful.
Like it had the market cornered on like what I've come to affectionately refer to as butt rock.
Yeah,
And that's the only instance of like that genre that I've ever heard is like from these games and like scant few other things.
yes,
But the electronic stuff too.
yeah,
You know Hideki Naganuma?
yes,
Motherfucker worked on like more
Good
than a
stuff.
few tracks
Yeah.
for Jet Set Radio.
yes.
And that motherfucker dabbled with Sonic too, and I was like,
It's good shit. And anyways, and so like I said, I stumbled across there's an old again it's old, but there's 2 games for this called Sonic Riders, and they're like again it's like a hoverboard racing game where you do like laps around and there's a whole story mode and there's new characters that were introduced for like there's like a trio of new like villain characters that were added.
The birds.
Yeah, the bird people.
Yeah, those
And
damn
so,
birds.
the albatross guy. But like But the music in it, I remember vaguely it being like really good, and I stumbled across a couple of tracks that I've liked throughout the history of my Spotify account that I've had for numerous years.
Knows how long.
Man, and I listened to a couple of them and I was like, holy shit, this hits.
This is fucking good.
This hits good. And so I went back onto the album and I looked at like some of the other tracks that I liked, and I just like clicked through, was like listening throughout as I was doing my work today, and as I was listening through them, I was like, man, there's like so many. There's so much stuff that I'm listening to right now. There's so much like things that are being recommended on YouTube right now with like jungle, drum and bass, like kind of like this like electronic music vibe that's like kind of recreating this like PS2 aesthetic, that kind of like music. There's a lot of games that have that kind of vibe. But there's one track. Core. Yes. There's one track that I was listening to today that has that, and it's the first one I showed you, or first or second one I showed you, has that vibe, I mean, to a T. And I played it, and I was like, this is that sound everyone's like getting back to. And I was like, and here it was in the PlayStation 2 in 2007 or whatever. And I was like, bruh.
Motherfuckers were ahead of their time.
It's good shit. And now, anyway, so it's like, it's that kind of stuff. Now we're like, I'm having the nostalgia for like this music. I don't know. It's just, there's so much good stuff in there that's, some of it can get kind of cringy. Some of it can be kind of whatever, but there's a lot of it in there. Like as you kind of like scroll through a little bit, you're like, man, there's some gems in here.
Got some pearls.
Yeah. So anyways, I had that fun, and before we recorded the show, I showed John and Dylan.
Oh yeah.
A couple of those tracks, because again, you're playing this older type game. I've been talking about this. We're reminiscing about how games were made a little differently and how I don't know, man. I was like, this is kind of making me feel
the golden age.
Feel a bit nostalgic right now.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
what about you, John?
Oh, I'm a Sonic maniac.
Yeah,
about all the fiend. The fan art I have on my walls in my bedroom.
Don't you fucking dare.
No,
I
don't take it that
monstrosities.
Far. He wears his medallion all the time.
I got my little Sonic. Jesus. Sonic. I have this character. It's like a mixture between Pikachu and Sonic.
No way.
And I put them together. I mean, it's an original character. I call him
my original character.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. Yeah. I wear a medallion I made with a Play-Doh model, Clay Magic.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. Yeah.
That's very.
It's like twice the size of your pec.
Yeah, it's very large.
You have to burn it, man.
It's my religious symbol.
That's
really.
A fucking demon inhabiting that piece of that article.
He looks at me while I sleep. Whispers sometimes.
Jesus.
Yeah. But there's been a whole bunch of stuff that we gotta segue out of this.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what games have you been playing, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about your cult.
Did you? I know I told John about this already. Did you hear that the Steam controller got a price tag and a release date?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I'm kind of excited about it. Even though it's kind of expensive, I have currently, I'm pretty sure that Razer controller that I have over there, I think I paid more than...
Yeah,
but it also has like clicky buttons and some other nice stuff on it. But I think
that's
I paid
a Steam controller.
Clicky buttons.
I know
that's a Steam.
It's a Steam controller, and I have a
Steam.
Steam
You can see
Deck.
the Steam.
It comes off of it.
And it's also wireless, which would be super sick. That one currently is not. I know, right?
Jeez,
I was super excited. Did you hear about the magnetic fob that charges it? Is also the dongle that it connects to.
That's fucking insane.
So I was like, and the crazy part is that one dongle can connect up to 4 different Steam controllers to it.
We're living in the freaking future, boys.
And I was like,
affordable gas, who cares?
So if I bought 2 of them, I get 2 wireless dongles. I can keep one in the living room. I can keep one in here in the studio. I could do...
Dongle it there, dongle it here, dongle it everywhere.
Dongle my dongle?
Yeah.
Dongle Dylan's freaking dongle.
No,
dongle my dongle.
Whoa.
We'll dongle each other.
Oh my God.
While you're dongling.
No.
Shoot.
I think we have a different understanding of what these dongles work.
Oh, I see.
That's okay. Yeah, get ahead of yourself.
I was just throwing it out there.
Okay. I'll consider it.
Do us a favor and put it away, please.
But this gives me some hope though. That maybe that we're getting pretty close to. This is what I was hoping for. I was Steam Machine. I was hoping that we would get like the Steam controller first. That I was like, at the very least, I think people have been talking about it, but I was hopeful that I was like, at least give us a little something first.
You just like, drip feed us.
Yeah.
Something
Right.
at least.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ian's dreams are coming true.
Maybe it is.
It's
man.
just the first drop.
Just the first drop.
Dude, the Steam Machine looks pretty dang though. I love the little plate that you can take off, magnetic plate, so you can just
nice
quick
little bit
swap
of
it.
customization.
Do you know the company? What is it called? D-brand skins. How they have they do like phone skins, like controller skins and stuff.
Yeah, they're making some for.
They're making some for the. They already have some to sell for the Steam controller, like little stickers over it.
Yeah,
but they have. I'm not sure if it's publicly available or not yet. Yeah. But they have made a not just a plate, but a full housing for the Steam machine. It's like a 3D printed thing or whatever, but it is a companion cube. And it's
I think I've seen that.
It's a full thing.
Yeah, it's like a full on companion cube.
It fits into it, and the face, like it's a whole, like it has like 3D, like it's all.
So
it's got a whole. It's anyways. I was like, oh man,
shoot.
I know that's probably like a cease and desist level of stuff. Like you're really stepping on some toes there.
But at the same time, Valve doesn't really care about that kind of thing.
I don't think so.
Really like huge sticklers for that kind of stuff.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's kind of sick though.
Yeah,
that's kind of sick. Have a whole little cover. Like, I think it slides in from the back, so the fan has the opening, and like the cover has this little. Dude, it was. I saw it and I was like, it's pretty sick. So I was like, hoping more people do things like that.
Cool things like that. Just cool little.
I would love
special things.
I already have some money set aside for the Steam machine potentially.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I want to get one.
It's long overdue.
I need to
poor
get
computer is it is struggling.
It's
trying to start
for a long
this
time. And so I think I want to try and go whole hog into the Steam machine category. It's probably I don't know. I've never really done a Linux based computer before, so I want to see how that works. Where I can just like have a computer that is Linux and see what I can work around with it. And
hell no. Worst case, you could always dual boot Windows.
Yes,
so.
And John has made me feel comfortable that I can dual boot Windows on it. So if nothing else,
you'll be fine.
I can figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's a hope. So I have that money set aside for that, but I may take $100 out of the Steam machine fund.
Yeah, for
Steam controller because I may get myself a little controller.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm not mistaken, I get paid in a couple days. So, but it releases this coming Monday. So by the time you guys are listening to this episode, we got like 3 or 4 days left. By the time this releases, so
only a matter of time.
You might be a proud owner of a Steam controller by the time you're
the thing.
This.
I think I'm worried about is that again, it's open to the public on Monday.
So I
gotta get that shit. Yeah. I gotta be Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
That thing opens
I remember
up.
the Steam
Deck.
Steam Deck was gone. I pre-ordered that thing like ages before it launched, and it didn't come out till like 6 months. I didn't get it.
I wonder if I can. I'll figure this out later. I wonder if I can pre-order it now.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either, but who knows?
Who knows?
I'm gonna be ready with money in hand.
Pull some strings. He'll go.
Yeah.
Send an email.
Let me go contact my boy Gabe.
Yeah, my boy
yeah.
Gabe Newell.
Yeah.
On speed dial.
Hey, yo,
If
Gabe,
anybody I know
up.
who's got my back and is in my corner, it's motherfucking Gabe Newell.
Bruh.
Yeah, he's really our last hope for gaming in general.
Motherfucker's a patron saint.
He's putting it. He's making some.
God help
making
us
some
when
stuff.
when that man passes away.
And not only that, amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah.
And not only that, there's also like there are accessible screws on the back of the Steam controller, and apparently they have Steam or Valve has, I guess some sort of contract or something with iFixit.
Yeah.
To have parts available to like replace things.
Yeah, that's what I love, dude, is modularity and just ease of access.
So the thing is, like, some people were saying that like the screw holes are pretty pronounced in the back, which is like maybe is uncomfortable for some people. Yeah. But people were saying, but at the same time, like that's also like we're gonna have the ability to buy like firsthand parts from iFixit from Valve to like replace things if the battery goes out or if anything breaks or like the fixing capability is like. And I was like, I love that shit.
When's the last time you heard about getting any kind of like first party like replacement parts?
Never.
Right.
At a store.
Never.
For anything PlayStation or Microsoft.
Nope.
Never.
Unheard of.
Just buy a new
They
one.
want you to buy a $90 new one every single time. And you know those things get stick drift in the first like 2-3 years.
Dude.
every time.
Every time. But not with this one, I don't think, because we got the, what is it, the
magnetic,
TRC or TRS?
Hall effect, TRS, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yep. So
I'm
stick drift.
I know that it may not be perfect, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in.
It's looking good.
I'm gonna put all my chips on Valve, and hopefully this investment will.
Dude, honestly, that's
off.
the safest fucking bet you can do.
Yeah. So so who knows?
Can't go wrong with Valve.
Can't go wrong with Valve. I don't think so. And I'm excited, and I think that even like I said before, even if the Steam machine is more expensive than I think it is, I'm almost certain it's probably going to be because of part acquisition
scarcity.
and scarcity and all that shit.
RAM issues and stuff.
And it's probably not going to be super predatory. And obviously, Steam's got to make their money somehow.
Right.
And I'm not ignorant to that. But I'm also
I'm just really holding out hope that they're still better than like anybody else price wise.
Yeah. I mean, right now the prices are going to go up for prices have gone up for PlayStation 5.
Yep.
The Pro is $1,000 now.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if like a Steam machine is like our top model is $1,000. It's like, I mean, that one is like, okay, it's either that or a PlayStation Pro.
Right.
Which it's obvious which one you're choosing.
For me, yeah. I don't know, man.
Shoot.
I think I would like a console more, but the problem for me is like I play a lot of online games and I play a lot of games with my friends.
Yep.
And to do any of that nowadays, I have to have a subscription to like PlayStation Plus or some sort of Xbox Live situation.
Sick of that bullshit.
Nintendo, what is it called?
Nintendo Online.
Nintendo Online. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to pay for another subscription just to play my games with my friends.
Especially for something that used to be free.
Right. Or when I have a Steam Deck that's hooked up to a monitor right here, and I could just play the same kind of games, but online for free. Well, you know, I pay for an internet subscription.
Yeah,
we both do.
Anyway.
But I mean, I pay that anyways.
Yeah.
I don't got to pay an extra fee for that. And that's anyways. That's where I get at. Where like I have thought about. I like Helldivers a lot, and I have thought about in the past. I was like, I could get like a really nice dedicated, like digital only PlayStation or PlayStation Pro or whatever. Download some like PlayStation type games on it or whatever, and I could buy Helldivers again and have it be like just in the living room or whatever and play that. And then, but then the second I thought about it, it's like, and I could play with my friends. Like, oh shit, wait, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't play the game at all because to play the game you have to have PlayStation Plus
subscription.
And I was like, throw that shit out the window. Never mind, not gonna do that. And that's where I ended up with the Steam Deck. I was like, right now my computer is like it's old and needs to be revamped, and it needed to be revamped freaking 5 years ago, but you know,
that's another story.
Yeah. I didn't have the money back then. I certainly don't have the money now. So, you know.
Back then it was like, maybe things will go, things will go down in price in the coming years. And then AI happened. And
oh, God.
I spec'd out like a $3,000 rig like 5-6 years ago. And now that thing it's old shit now, but it's also, and now it's 4,000, it's 5,000 or whatever for old shit parts now. I'm like, well,
that's the point.
Yeah. Shoot. But anyways, so I definitely invested. I got the Steam Deck. I got the dock that goes with it. Spent $700-800 whatever for all of it, and I was like, it's a pretty big investment, but I have a feeling it's going to work out. And oh man, I have not been disappointed at all. This shit is so good.
Oh yeah,
especially now that I have like a wireless mouse and keyboard that I've had from other shit that I've done in the past.
Yeah,
got that stuff right there. Hooks up and it just works. I can just turn the mouse on and I can just play games and play stuff. And anyways,
it's a lost art.
Yeah.
Where shit just works.
Where shit does works. Yeah.
God.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited where that may come and I'm excited to potentially try and clean out this whole space right here and find a new place for my
stick your little cube,
your little cube around.
Yep.
Indeed.
Put on display, flaunt it.
Put a companion cube. Right
there.
Yeah.
Behold.
I don't know.
My box.
I'm excited to see what other kind of like covers and stuff that they.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen all kinds of cool ones already. I can't wait for what they got.
Who knows?
I'll tell you what I'm excited for.
What's that?
In other news,
go ahead.
Super Robot Wars Y came out with some more DLC.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
I haven't seen who's on it.
This is news to me.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen who's on it or what we're getting, but I'm going to take a look at it as soon as possible.
Okay.
And if it's anything like what we've gotten already, like, holy shit, dude.
Why is the newest one you played recently, right?
Uh-huh. The one with the Super Dimension Fortress and the fighters, dude.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Dunbine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Surbine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I told you before, like, I think yesterday, that I was able to find a completely legal website that had the OVA.
Yes.
That has Surbine in it. But the subs are fucking awful.
The subs are awful or the dubs?
The subs are awful.
Oof.
It's like poorly translated or just not very coherent at all. Like you can just
a rough
barely
translation,
follow what's going on.
Damn.
But besides that, it's pretty good.
No, yeah, I bet.
Pretty freaking good. Let's see what else.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's in the new DLC yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
But I'm thinking at least like maybe 4 or 5 new units.
Yeah.
I just have to make sure. But other than that, I finally maxed out and prestiged my Vanguard in Space Marine 2. So now all that's left is the sniper.
Okay.
And then I'll get those fucking molecular bolt pauldrons.
Hell yeah.
So that I can make my loyalist world eater.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
I just recently downloaded it on my Steam Deck. I was able to like get the internet to work right, and I got like the full bandwidth figured out on my Steam Deck.
It's a beautiful thing.
It downloaded it super fast, so I'm gonna try to see if it runs pretty well on it, because it definitely didn't run very good on my actual computer.
My pewter.
But most things don't, so I'm not surprised. But with especially like a modern game like that. Which, speaking of, you know, that game came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at the last
week. No,
I looked at the last time I played it, which was like very shortly after it released, and it was like September 2024.
Yeah,
crazy.
And I was like,
it's crazy.
24. I thought that game came out like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and here we are. I'm like, man, that's
Time
insane.
sure flies.
Yeah,
when you're killing the enemies of the Imperium.
Yeah, or
Tyranids.
lack thereof right now.
Fucking heretics.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
John convinced me to replay a game called Nuclear Option, which is like a flight simulator type game. And man, I'm a sucker for a flight simulator.
Yeah, let me tell you,
I love it.
Flight simulators are.
I want to get my pilot's license, and that's not that's not news to anybody else around here in the Aftermath space.
Oh yeah,
but like. This game is kind of like a alternate reality to ours. It's like set in like the kind of far or
somewhat future,
but somewhat
not quite
future,
like super future.
And there's a lot. All the planes have, of course, like number jurisdictions as well as like a name that goes along with it, which is very similar. And again, each one of them has like a real world counterpart.
Yeah,
so like the A-10 Warthog. There's one called like the
Brawler,
A-15 Brawler,
Brawler.
Yeah. There's like I think it's the Ifrit. It's like a F something Ifrit, and it's basically an F-22 Raptor. Is what it is. There's like one I think it's called the Vector. Or
that's
one
like
of them,
the
VTOL,
35, VTOL stealth,
the F-35,
fighter.
or something like that, or whatever. Yeah. There's like anyways, there's a lot of counterparts where like you see the correspondence. There's a Chicane, which is actually just a Black Hawk helicopter.
Actually, there was some news they're going to be adding like a bigger attack helicopter well above the Chicane.
A gunship.
So you're gonna have like a proper gunship,
like
like
a real Chinook.
Yeah, like a real Chinook type of big old helicopter. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be dank.
Yeah, but anyways, like so you look at all these different like planes, and there is like they're not real world planes or helicopters, but you can look at them and go, oh, okay, like there's a
similarity there,
inspiration.
Yeah,
we're getting like
a certain something.
Yeah, we're getting apparently pretty soon. We're getting what is basically an AC.
130,
AC 130,
yeah,
like a big, carrier plane or
cargo
attack
plane.
platform, or whatever. We're getting one like that pretty soon. But anyways, John, I think, had downloaded it and had got a bunch of skins and stuff that he got from the Steam Workshop and
just
stuff.
the mandatory ones,
Yes.
Tsune Miku
anything Miku related.
Yeah.
Got some Halo skins in there too.
Yes, I got a helicopter that has the UNSC.
The Helldivers plane.
Yeah. Eagle 1. Yeah, I got to have
the A-10 Warthog.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So anyway, again, it didn't take much. Obviously, I'm joking when he said he convinced me. He walked into my room and said, "Oh, hey, like I'm playing this," and I was like, "Oh shit, wait a second, say no more."
Yeah.
And I hopped on.
Get in there.
And then of course, like I think the first couple times we played it, I didn't understand like the kind of mechanics of it and how
it's
really,
a lot deeper than
you
think. There's a lot. A lot of depth to it.
And I think the first time in this recent session we're talking about, I played. I was like, I'm still like a bit fumbling around. And then like the next day, I like read up on some articles and stuff, and like was like looking up some planes and helicopters and things like specializations, because I think you had told me about some things you had found out about it. And the more I read up on it, I was like, man, this game actually has like a lot of really cool shit in it. So you have the map, you have all these different like airfields and bases and stuff that you can capture or repair, and
got different kinds of missiles and like weapons and stuff. Each one has like a dedicated role you have to use it for. Yeah, really cool.
There's a bunch of like radar platforms and like and, anti-air stuff. Anyways, it gets to be like there's a whole bunch, and it's super cool. The next time we played together, that next day, I filled out my support role, I would say, pretty good.
Yeah, he was doing pretty good. I remember at one point I left a base. We had like maybe 2 bases on the map entirely. We were about to get clapped.
Yes.
I nuked one of the enemy bases to try to catch us up. I landed, and I looked back on the map, and like we had taken all of our bases back. Everything was fixed. We had launch anywhere.
It was back
again.
and forth for a minute there, but and turned it around completely.
Put us back in the game.
I found that the helicopters that I could carry around certain APCs that like has like personnel in it that not only attack the area but also like they capture the base. And there's also a thing called a jackknife, which repairs facilities when it's just in the area. And so like there was a couple times where like I would like I mean again, this is where like I've learned a lot about like pilot stuff, and I've wanted to get better at it. And it's like there's like a lot of like little fun things I've like read up on, and like how you're supposed to do certain things.
Yeah.
And so like it's a game, obviously, but I lined up my flight path. So like I looked at the map and I was like, okay, I have to hit again. I don't have any like real like markers or like things. But I was like, I have to hit this mountain area. I have to spin around and get my heading correct because I want to be able to fly over these 2 bases because I have 2 jackknives that need to go over the area. So I got to get over the area. I have to be at a certain altitude, and I have to like get slow enough. Let that shit rip and then keep on going. So like I had a whole plan layered out, and I was doing it, and it was and I was like, man, it felt so good. And then of course, there's nothing better than like for me at least, whenever you do something like that and then you land successfully, I'm like, ooh, that shit feels
and then
real
get
good.
Hit with that plus 50 points.
Yeah.
For successful sortie.
Yes, there is a way that you can also whenever your plane gets shot down or you crash or whatever else happens, you can eject your person out of it. But a lot of times these bigger planes and helicopters have multiple people in the seats. And a lot of times the computer ejects for them kind of in a way. So like, even if your character dies because you went down with the ship, there's a way that like
the captain should.
Exactly. There's a way that like that still there are probably some survivors of the crash.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like once you get like deep into the mission, as you can imagine,
it's just
like
a whole map.
There's like a band of survivors
along the like front line of combat.
Where you would imagine that kind of stuff
pepperings
happens.
Of lost pilots,
little stragglers.
And so there was a point in time where like I took the big quad helicopter called the Tarantula. And I emptied that bitch out. I had nothing. I had nothing in it. No special stuff in the cargo bay. And I went through and I just picked up. I mean, I picked up everybody. I was like,
a party bus going across the.
And then I figured out how to like lock onto certain individuals and in certain like high like
intensity zones.
I could get my hook down.
They could
and I
grab
could,
it.
And I would get close to them, and then they would grab onto it, and it would go. Cool. They would like, whoa, and then I would whoop, suck them up, and they would just fly off.
Flying over you.
Holy shit. Dude, and like so there was a point in time where I didn't realize this, but I think for certain bigger planes, like the pilots I think are kind of like worth more, quote unquote. Like for some of the bombers, some of the more like logistic, higher value targets. you get more money for saving them, or more points.
I guess the idea is that they're like more skilled pilots.
Maybe
they deserve a little.
And
more.
so the thing is, like, you get the points upon retrieving them.
Yeah.
But then you get a successful sortie whenever you land back at the base and you eject, like you leave your plane or helicopter, whatever. So there was one run in particular where I just like I lost track of how many that I picked up, but it was a lot. And like, again, I've had a successful sortie before where like you land, like I've killed a radar station or a couple planes, and I've got a successful sortie that's like 21, 32, 15 or whatever. I landed that one, it was 83, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I was like, my God.
Where the fuck did you get that?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, the second that happened,
I've been playing this game wrong the whole time.
Exactly. I was like, I know my role now.
This is my role.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, again, I think I just threw out a couple jackknives because, again, you get repair bonuses whenever they just do things. So I just randomly I get like a little ding, like repair bonus for an airfield or whatever. And I was like,
nice.
So yeah,
that's cool.
There was one time in particular where there was an airfield that I think got blown up, but I think it got captured as it got blown up or something. So I dropped a jackknife over there and it didn't do nothing. And I was like, oh shit, this isn't ours yet. So I circled back around, picked up an APC and came back and then just dropped it off. And then so like not only, it was one of those moments I think you were talking about where like it was a situation like that where like the APC captured the point, and then the second it was captured, the jackknife was like, time to get to work. And I started like repairing shit.
Here we go.
Like, the second it was blown up, and then in very short order, I had like the people there that were just like getting the stuff done with it. So it was like, it's fine now. We're back in action. And I was
back
like,
in action.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I've been having a lot of fun with that.
That's great.
Ian has supplanted himself in the supply and logistics.
That's his role.
I like support.
Ian's a support guy.
I like support, man.
Same way in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, dude, in any kind of MMO, I like being either the tank or the healer. And a lot of times, I like being a healer a lot. Because I think more people are okay with being tanks than not. But a lot of times, I feel like everyone, again, DPS is kind of dime a dozen, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
But
everyone wants to be DPS.
Yeah. But I also there's something about being a healer. I think from the first MMO that I played, Lord of the Rings Online, I played a couple of healer class. I played the tank primarily with the group that I ran with, but then I fell in love with like the healer classes that they have in that game.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was like, I don't know, man. I like it.
Clicked.
I like doing that. I like being able to like manage everybody, and a lot of times, especially like for certain runs in that game, either the tank or the healer is the leader of the group to kind of like guide people in a certain direction. So it's like, we have to go here, we got to do this thing. Like, hey, everybody, this is the trigger, do this. So a lot of times I kind of fell into that role anyways too, where I was like, I'm just a healer and you guys do all the faff about, and I'll sit here and keep you guys alive and go like, no, go that way. Figure this shit out. So anyways, that's always been that
was a good time.
Yeah, I like that. Whenever we played Final Fantasy 14 a bunch, I like being the healer.
Good time.
We play with a buddy of ours, Brandon, and he liked to give me shit.
Well, he's just.
I know he does that to me
that way, you know.
Yeah,
Brandon is the shit giver.
Yeah. But he gave me a run for my money. But then at the same time, I also think there was a couple times where he did a bunch of like random groups of people.
Yeah, and they
would fall flat apparently.
Yeah,
he was
they would
like,
give him shit.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just kind of
not only that, but I also felt pretty good that like he's like, I've ran with a handful of healers before, and he's like,
and they were like terrible.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm not gonna lie, he's like, I give you a lot of shit, but you're my most favorite healer. And I was like,
for sure.
I like hearing it. Thank you. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like doing that. Even in a game like Helldivers, there's like a support build that I have. I don't pull out very often because it's
shoot
a bit,
people with stems.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I load you. I call it my performance enhancing drugs. So I have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. This game, Rainbow Six Siege. There's a character, Doc.
Oh no!
He's a doctor. Yeah, he's a support kind of character. It's fun playing him.
Interesting.
You'll hear like one of your teammates say, "Doctor, doctor," and you give me the other side of the map. Yeah, you pull out your stim pistol and shoot him from the other side.
Hell yeah!
Ow!
Thank you.
If Kaika hadn't ruined the game for you, then I imagine you'd probably be playing Doc.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
It's criminal to me that Siege is getting a Metal Gear crossover.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Really?
They got Solid Snake in him right now.
Get out.
Yeah, he's one of the characters, playable character. He's actually pretty good.
Absolutely.
I imagine
pretty top tier character. Whoop.
Sorry, a little footsie
My big little toe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got like a scanner. He can like actively scan where people are on the map, and it makes like the Solid Snake sound,
Of
like the
course.
attention sound, like ding.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's terrifying if you're on the other side though.
Oh,
Your
God.
defense, you'll hear the
and you're like,
noise,
oh no,
oh,
he's
God, they
got
got a fucking snake
somewhere
on the
around
team.
there,
Yeah,
like looking for you.
Wow.
So.
It's Mr. Metal Gear.
No, it's John Metal Gear himself.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna on-site procure everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same vein as the kind of flight sim stuff, because we've started playing Nuclear Option again. We hopped on a game called Elite Dangerous. It's probably been 6-9 months ago. When we first kind of hopped on it, or at least I first hopped on it, and I played it for. There was a couple nights where I played
just went hard.
I went hard on that game because again, same sort of thing. It's in space, it's spaceships, but like it has flight simulator aspects to it. There's also like a bunch of really cool missions that kind of just feel like just fun tasks and chores.
Did you ever play it in VR?
No, I didn't.
You should give it a shot in VR, dude. It's probably one of my favorite like VR.
Maybe I should get the Steam Vision too.
Sure.
What is it called? Steam Frame.
You're gonna go all in, huh?
Go all in, man. Is it Steam Frame? Is that what it's called?
Frame,
Steam Frame.
The frame's the new VR.
I'm joking mostly, but
and you say that, but the Steam Frame actually has like cohesion with the controller.
Of course it does.
It has like an IR sensor.
Bro, this house is about to be Steam powered.
Dedicated to the controller. So
I'm about to be so steamed out.
yeah, he's just gonna be a little steam fiend.
Please, Gabe, please give it to me.
Please.
Please. I've been good to you for so long, so many years.
What do you want from me?
I've given you all my money, Gabe. I swear.
I've been a good boy.
I've been a good
little
boy.
Steam boy.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, but it's an awesome game in VR. I love looking around the cockpits and
Yes.
hearing like the sound of the engine on your headset when you're in there.
There's a lot of really cool ships in that game, and they're releasing some new ones right now.
I think my favorite part about that game is watching a capital ship come
into you hear the freaking capital ship incoming, and then the
out of the fucking black thunderous void.
You know, the lore is that like since there's no sound in space, your cockpit is actually simulating like the sounds for you to kind of give you an idea of like what is going on around you.
That's funny.
So when you hear like a noise, it's like your cockpit like simulating what that would like sound like.
Really?
Essentially, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little lore drop.
Yeah.
So that's why the capital ship sounds so imposing and stuff.
Of course.
Like, your cockpit's like, oh, there's like a big old radar signature coming in.
Scared,
Damn,
that's
Speaking
cool.
of capital ships, you, John, showed me a game up and coming.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Dreadnought. And then, man, I can't remember the other part. Let me look.
Like there was this old PvP like ship combat game.
I missed that game.
That was like atmospheric that I fucking loved. It was so cool. Just called Dreadnought.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a top down. You actually control like a big capital ship, like capital cruiser.
Okay.
Over different like flight spaces.
Yeah.
And you have to like defend it and fight off.
It's like a real time strategy type game.
Stuff. No, it's like a kind of like an action combat type deal.
Yeah.
But it looks really cool. Yeah.
Dang.
You control like a big capital ship.
It looked like it was still pretty early on in development, but man,
yeah, I think it's
got the bones of something real good.
Yeah, it looks stank. You could actually, there was another video, you can like send out smaller like little mechas, like little mech stuff, pilot and shoot around and
like
stuff.
mobile suits.
Yeah, mobile suits. It looks pretty sick.
One thing that I loved a lot, going back to Elite Dangerous a little bit, is there's a couple of ships you can have like multiple like co-pilot seats in.
Yeah.
And there is
little fighters.
Some of them have fighter bays where you can have like a big enough ship that can have like a little fighter that can shoot out of it. And dude, I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun with that.
Yeah.
And I want to get back.
I got one of those ships.
You did.
And you were my little fire pilot.
Yes, there was a couple of times where like I think you went out to get some like bounties and shit, and I hopped out there and was just shooting shit down. I was like, this is so sick.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and I would like to get back to that.
Emulate like the same feel as like old school Star Fox.
Yeah,
where you've got this big like pseudo carrier with a bunch of like fighters. Maybe not even like a bunch, just like a small squad.
Yeah,
just a little squadron. I think it'd be really cool. to have something like that.
There's a couple of ships in that game specifically where you can get a big enough fighter bay.
One of my ships had 2 fighter bays. Like
Yes.
you actually have 2 fighters at the same time.
Yes.
It was really cool.
I think some of the big ones, like the Anaconda, like the big ship, I think you can have multiple if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
for sure.
And like you can have up to like 3 co-pilots. You can have like at least a few ships where you fly in there, which that ship already is like it's built to be a war ship.
Yeah, it's like a
So you can zap into a place and have all. The cool thing is like you can be the pilot. You can put all the weapons on one co-pilot, and you could have like 2 people be fighter pilots like around you. And I was like, bro, this shit is so cool. Yeah. And the whole reason why I brought this up was because there is this new update coming out in like a month or so, which is going to be like, I think it's called Operations or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, it feels like old school Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Capital
Where there's going to be like, if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a couple of different mission types, but the one that I've heard about is like there is a space station that has been overrun by mercenaries or pirates or whatever. So you have to like get into the airspace or the not airspace. I'm thinking planes now.
Space.
Yeah, you have to get into the area, and then you have to take out the ships around the area to then land in there, and then you have to then fight on foot. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff ever since they released Odyssey back a handful of years ago, whatever. Odyssey was the stuff that allowed you to get out of your ship and like do like gun combat,
little rover, and
the rover and stuff, which was like all that stuff. I was like, it's a bit minimal right now, but like I see the potential for what could be something really sick.
Yeah.
And then seeing these operation things coming out potentially in the next month or so, I was like, now we're getting into some like, again, you and like a squad of 3 people, so a max probably a
4-man squad
could join up in a team and go play some missions.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's gonna be so sick. And again, I think there's like a new currency. I think it's called Merc Coin or something along those lines, where like you can get special weapons that only that currency can get, and there's not going to be any like real world money conversion. Like it's just like you have to do these missions to like either get this currency or whatever.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, so you have to like,
what do you know about that?
Yeah. there is a real world currency in Elite Dangerous called ARC or ARCs. I think it's
Survival Evolved.
ARX. Yeah, you're right. Throwback. But a little throwback for sure.
Throwback to the time we put a diseased dinosaur in our competitor's base.
Gave them all dino AIDS.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Oh, did we?
So for context, we had a Survival Evolved server in which we had some mods, and one of our dinosaurs had caught what was the equivalent to AIDS for dinosaurs.
He had some sort of like super contagious, like really bad illness.
And I went scouting out, and I found these other guys we had on the server with us.
Yes.
Their base was like tucked away through some woods.
Yeah.
And I got back to the base. I said, Ian, I found them. I found a Kaika and all them.
Well, I think we also decided to do this because they kept trying to come to us and destroy our shit.
Yeah, luckily I had a turret on the top.
In the back of his mind, John was moving like Umbrella.
Yes,
he had straight up bioterrorism.
Yeah,
I came
so
back.
this was the counterattack. It was like if you're gonna sit,
when we were coming to them
exactly
to fuck shit up. Yes. I came back to the island. I said, Ian, I found them.
Yeah.
Let's get our dinosaur that had AIDS, which we also named. We named it AIDS as well.
Yes.
So I said, let's get AIDS. We're going to go and drop AIDS on them.
Yeah.
And it's going to infect all their dinosaurs and we'll wipe them out. So we got on our pterodactyl. Our big one. It picked up AIDS. Flew over to the jungle that they were stationed at.
I think we set him on aggressive.
Set him to aggressive. So just fight anything he'd come in contact.
Spread everything.
We dropped AIDS off.
Yep.
And sure enough, he just went.
He wiped out everything.
The whole camp was full of nothing but AIDS.
And if I'm not mistaken,
dinosaurs.
I think he was like a pterosaur.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he was an aggressive.
Yeah, he was like a little herbivore type dino.
But we set him to feral.
Yeah.
Because he was ours. So I think you can set like
you can
set like your people.
Level.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he was a sacrifice. I think he died pretty quick, but
he did some work.
The disease off, which is all he needed to do. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Salute Gades.
And luckily, like the disease it was contagious. So
of
it
course,
spread everything else. So they were cooked.
They were cooked.
what they get.
I forgot about that.
Even stepping foot on our island.
You're trying to kill us.
Yeah, I think I also sent a T-Rex to
you did.
to just
to
patrol
like the island.
I
forgot about
I think that one ate Liku.
Yeah,
and then Kaika got lasered down when the turret I set on top of her.
That sounds about
on
right.
top of her big ass gate. So
that's crazy.
That was a cool ass base we had though.
We did.
We had a cool base all set up.
It was a nice place.
Yeah, really clean.
I have. There has been moments when I've thought about trying to play that game again.
Mm-hmm. It's just so much to download. It's like 300 gigabytes to get it on your drive. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and I think that from what I've heard, like the remaster of it or whatever was not very well received. The second one has been. I just think the game has kind of gone. Anyways, maybe one day, but it's just one of those things where like to download the game, it's like I can't.
Stuff, so.
I can't justify it. But anyways, speaking of games that used to be super big, but they actually updated it and pared it down really well, was Helldivers.
Yeah.
I know I always talk about Helldivers on this. It's one of my favorite games.
Little known game.
Yeah, little known game.
He's only just discovered it.
It used to be like 150 to like 170 gigabytes, but they super optimized the game and shit. And now it's 20 megabytes or 20 gigabytes. Megabytes.
Yeah, megabytes.
yeah.
Holy shit.
It could fit on a small thumb drive.
Yeah. It's like 20 kilobytes.
Yeah, right.
Very small game.
It runs like
bytes.
Shit. no.
Jesus.
But it's 20 gigabytes now. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. That like it's the same.
They managed to do that.
It runs the same now, but it's just optimization, I guess, which is crazy.
Nice.
But yeah.
Love to see it.
The reason why I brought this up was because I kind of want to talk about the new Warbond that released today.
Yep. Oh. Go ahead.
Exo Experts.
Hell yeah.
Loved and hated in the community by a lot of people. And I feel like most of us here, I think, are kind of excited about it.
I can't not like mechs.
It's so good.
Exo.
I'm not gonna lie. For the first time, I like the titles that they give you. They're kind of cool. But for the first time, Exosuit Certified is a fun title.
Yeah.
And the little icon they give you is like the face of the exosuit with like the little bar eye, and it's all gray and cool looking. I was like, that's the first one that I think I may change out like my actual rank for to have like, no, trust me, I'm exosuit certified.
Right, you can trust me.
Yeah.
Damn near anything.
And of course, the one thing I was hoping for is the new exosuits get all the camos that you've already previous unlocked, and it does.
Good.
So all I haven't unlocked the exosuits yet because they're like on the second and third page, but you can go to the customization and look at it, and they have all of the different color options. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I saw a little short where I think like they looked at the shadow of one of the mechs, and you could see that they had like a launcher on its like shoulder, but the actual mech doesn't have it yet. So I think there's an implication that at some point they're gonna add like
that'd be cool,
like a stratagem launcher on the mech, so you could shoot stratagems out from the mech.
That sounds sick.
Yeah,
I know that was something that they had talked about wanting to have on there. There's a lot of stuff that people are saying. People want exosuit customization, and I think maybe we may get something like that. But again, I think people get their hopes up and they talk really big and they want these big, lofty, ambitious ideas, and I don't think the game's going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty cool so far. Sure. I've unlocked most of the things on the first page. I don't remember what the name of the armor set is, but the superstore item is like an all red armor suit with like gold accent colors. And the second I saw it, I was like, oh shit. I think I'm hooked. And the cape matches it, and it's like super sick. And anyways, the new SMG is a one-handed medium pin SMG. But it also has like a really crazy high fire rate. So I'm excited to see how that like pans out. Are you looking at it? Oh no, Dylan's looking at it. What's it called? Is it called Bravest something or another like that? I forgot what it's called.
Bonded Pilot. That's fucking rad.
Yeah, let's see. I'm curious right now. It has the new stuff. Like the new perk on it and stuff. Like I said before, I think I kind of like the helmet, but I'm also not quite sure how I feel about it. It's not too bad, but
I love it.
I'm that's what I'm saying. I was like,
It looks so good.
It looks so sick, dude. It's all red and gold and black, and I'm like, that's my freaking vibe right there. So you better get it while the getting's good.
Yeah.
also one thing they talked about was they have removed the superstore rotation. They're trying it out apparently. Mm-hmm. So it's not a for real done deal thing right now. But I think if people like it enough, they're going to keep it around. But for right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think
everything is just available.
Everything's available right now. Ooh. So all the ones. If you missed
That'd
any of them,
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. The one I'm really excited to see is the breakthrough mech. I want to see how that works with that shield. Mm-hmm. I want to see how how effective it can be. Yeah. They did a bunch of like buffs and stuff to like the exosuits, as well as like they buffed the enemies as well. Mm-hmm. But they also gave some nerfs. Oh. The heavy devastator, the shield on the heavy devastator now has I believe it's heavy armor pin or anti-tank. I think it's been bumped down to heavy armor pin. Damn. And it has a health pool now. Huh. So there's a potential where if you shoot it with big enough shit, you can
destroy it outright.
You can destroy the shield, and he'll drop it.
Damn.
And I was cool. Like, for the first time, we don't have the invincible freaking shield.
That's pretty neat.
So, anyways, I mean, I'm not sure. I think they buffed a lot of the enemies to to high heaven, and people are pissed about it. But it's whatever. But anyways, I'm excited to play it. The only thing that I'm not excited about, that I'm actually really sad about, is this new update has made it crash on launch for a Steam Deck.
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
Which is the only way I play it right now. So the thing is, like, today it launched, and it said that, like, I think in the patch notes it says, like, we know that there's like issues that are causing it to crash. I was hopeful that I could like open the game and still play it. Nope. It crashes on launch, and I'm like,
not even a little
shit. So I needless to say, I updated it on my computer, and I launched it on my computer. Which, I mean, it ran. I didn't think I realized how well it ran on the Steam Deck until I went back to my computer. I was like, man, this game runs like shit on my computer. And I struggled to like unlock little things that I could.
Damn.
While I still had the chance. So, anyways,
crazy.
Having fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about the gotcha game, or do you not want to talk about it?
No.
Okay.
I think I'll spare myself.
Okay.
I've been going down a bit of a hole. I mean, I've still been like getting some Zenless runs. Here and there.
Gosh, dude, and have they released Billy's new stuff?
Not yet, but he's next,
dude.
Along with this new character called Kameo.
What the heck?
Who's like a judge.
Oh, hell yeah.
She looks fucking insane. I'm going to have to show it to you. But apparently they've shown a little teaser that the proxies will have like their own little stand-in, like agent, quote unquote.
Really?
As opposed to just sitting behind the safety of the screen.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
how's that going to work?
We'll fucking see. Okay. I got no clue, but it looks like it's basically, it looks like a fucking stand.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to let me see if I can find a picture.
Little Jotaro type stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Jojo. Straight up.
Yeah.
Caesar.
Have you just been doing Zenless mostly, or have you tried anything?
I actually went back to Star Rail.
Okay.
A little bit, and I've been messing around with that.
That's awesome.
Nothing crazy, but I mean, they give you a ton of free shit after you've been gone for a while, so
yeah,
might as well
incentivize you to
pull you back in.
Yeah, get hooked back in.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah!
I'm nervous about starting Zenless because I feel like if I'm not careful, I'll get real hooked and I just fall down a K-hole.
Yeah, that's
not the K-hole.
Yeah.
Be a little dangerous.
I feel there's a couple of them that I don't think I would really vibe with, like gotcha type games. But there's a couple of them like Zen. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
That looks so like that's your. Does that like hover over behind you, or is that like you just turn?
I have no idea.
Okay,
that thing looks like some freaking Persona.
That's right. Yeah,
right. That's the only artwork we've seen of it so far. But
it's got a sword.
Shit, it looks pretty fucking rad.
Hell yeah, looks sick as hell.
Yeah.
It looks like a Elden Ring type character.
Right.
Yeah.
All the Silver Knights.
Yeah. Oh man, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, but out of all of them that I've seen, I like the action and the gameplay of Zenless a lot. And so I've thought about it. I think I thought about it. I've created an account and like logged into it and been like, oh, sick.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
It's here.
Yeah.
But I haven't really done much past that.
Yeah.
Because you can get on your phone. So I got on my phone. I was just playing around.
Mobile version. Yeah.
So
it took some getting used to. I started first like on the phone, and then I moved over to the PS5, and it's been. It still feels pretty good.
I liked it on the phone, but I was like, but the more I was playing on it, I was like, I think this would be super sick with a controller.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
So. The fact that I was lucky enough to get Banyue whenever he first came out, dude.
That's a super cool
character. I feel
like
he's been one of the main like contributing factors to my continued play of this game. Because of how fucking cool a character
why?
Because
he's a big giant robot character.
Yeah,
I can't imagine why.
I wonder
who'd have figured.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Right.
Yeah.
This just
never would have guessed.
Yeah,
Dylan
right.
likes the big robot.
Yeah, Dylan likes big robots.
Yeah.
Surprise no one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I agree though. His character is super sick. I like his moveset and his like cool like orb abilities and all that shit. Dude. Super sick.
It's fucking rad. I'm gonna have to. They've released some gameplay for S rank Billy. That I've got pulled up. I'm going to show him to you when we finish.
Yeah.
He looks fucking nuts, man.
Sick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but among that, there's also some other stuff we kind of been, dancing around. Ethan, and Dylan, and I tried to start back up our Divinity playthrough, which has been far too long, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Since we played that game. We haven't finished it. Ethan has finished it numerous times. I think I've gotten close to finishing that game, but I don't think I ever actually have. And then Dylan, Ethan, and I all started a playthrough long time ago, and we probably have talked about it in the past.
For sure.
But it just has gone cold for a long time and just never really thought about it. And out of nowhere, I think Dylan was the one who was like...
Yeah. One night I proposed the idea of starting it back up, and I mean, we got back into it pretty well. I think. I mean, it's still going to take some getting used to again, learning all the controls and all that.
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, no.
There was only one time where we got real close.
Yeah.
And then I think you actually...
I died.
You died.
Yeah.
But you were also like surrounded. And then I think I got myself to a safe spot and I healed myself up just enough and I waited it out. And then I was able to get my abilities up and I was like, Ethan, is it tactically a good idea to get Dylan up? And he's like, well, I don't actually know. I'm not sure because they're probably going to focus him. And I was like, I've got all my abilities. I'm just going to try it. And Ethan's like, do what you want to do. So I rezzed Dylan and I like healed him with what I had. And then I put him in cryostasis to where no one could, because so like when I did that, no one can focus on him. And then after like a turn is over with, it would heal him a bunch. So Dylan got back into the fight and had like a sizable amount of health. I think there was a couple of times where we got pretty close, but
I took as many of them out as I could. It's the first time in a while I've had a rough spot, like being in the thick of it.
Yeah,
like an angry lizard ought to do.
Correct,
but I think
in our defense, I think Ethan, had a way of like matching the level scaling. to us.
Yeah.
And that was the first fight we did. That was like it was a big fight, and I think he level scaled it. We were like a couple levels above it,
right?
But I think he scaled it to us.
Yeah,
and
so
I think that
everything we fight is now going to be on our level.
Yes, on par, and it showed.
And it didn't feel that bad, but it was the first time in a while I had to resort to like using items to heal myself.
Yeah.
I used up all of my health potions.
You're right. But yeah, super sick though. It was it's fun to get back to that game.
Yeah.
And then besides that, we've been dancing around Stronghold Crusader a little bit. It's a fun old.
It's fucking hard, dude.
Bruh.
Depending on like what trail you decide to go through and like how the map is set up, you gotta like do 50,000 things at once in order to even get a foothold.
It's tough.
It's insane.
It really shows that it's like it is an older kind of strategy game, because sometimes I feel like there are some modern ones that I think go a little too easy on you.
Right.
And this is one of those. It's like this is one of those old unforgiving ones. Like, no, just get good.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Figure it out.
I'm trying.
Solve for X, bitch.
Yeah, right. So yeah,
it's crazy.
But yeah, anything else you guys wanted to hit on? You want to try and John today showed me a freaking horse betting game called Horsey Game.
Quite literally called Horsey Game.
It's called Horsey Game. I've never heard of it, and I was like, this is some weird shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Game.
I mean, I may not be I'm not a gambler in any means.
Yeah.
But you put a game on in front of me where there's like where you want me to get hyped.
Scritchy scratchy.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like I'm a hype man.
Yeah.
It's like you give me some shit there, and I'm like, let's go, come on.
If shit gets hype, you're gonna get hell yes per second.
Exactly. And so
that horsey game, you'd be surprised, dude. Like the
game
mechanics in that game get pretty dang in detail.
Really?
So like those like genomes I showed you, like when you inspect them, there's actually a laboratory you can find on the map where you can change the individual chromosomes for the horses. Like,
Bro,
to
what?
change like how fast they go or like what color they are, like all kinds of stuff.
I'll have you know that this game looks like it's like a little like paper mache.
MS Paint.
Yeah.
It's
when I say horses, I mean they're like stick figure horses that are not
rectangles.
They're not racing. They're like kicking and flailing around to get to the end of the finish line. It's goofy looking.
Yep.
So to hear that, that's actually really funny and clever.
It's crazy how deep the game actually goes.
I wonder. I figured it was something like that. When I saw it, I was like, "There's a lot going around here," and I wonder how in detail you can do that kind of stuff.
Very. You could, if you get a lasso, like what we were using to capture the horses, you take them to the laboratory, and then you use the lasso to catch one of the chromosomes, and then you can inject and change their like genetic makeup, and then put it back into them, and then that'll change them.
What?
And then you could breed them with other horses,
right?
And then they'll exchange different
DNA like they do
and whatnot. And then it's just that the hole goes deeper.
Wow.
It just goes deeper and deeper.
Jesus.
All kinds of crazy stuff starts to happen.
Well, why were we doing that then?
It requires getting some funds.
Oh, I see.
We were unfortunately not quite successful in getting.
Damn.
I think we maxed out like $500, and then like $200 of that went to putting those guys in retirement.
I forgot. Home. Oh, wait, that cost us money to do that?
Yeah, $100 each for those guys. It was like $200 total to put them.
It's a good thing I liked Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah, Douglas MacArthur and Teddy Roosevelt.
We sent them away. Over yonder
acres.
Yeah.
But the rest of them got sent to the glue factory.
Yep. For sure.
They were quite
they were bad.
up to snuff.
There was one that was really bad.
Yeah, one of them just did a backflip at
the starting line.
At the starting line. Didn't even get out there.
They had one guy with freaking kicks on. He had sneaks on.
He was destroying us.
He was freaking tiptoeing.
Went to buy him from one of the ranchers.
Yeah, and he was grumpy.
And this jerk refused.
He's like, I ain't no way.
Never selling none of these to nobody.
I don't want your lousy horse.
Whatever. I was I'll be back with a gun.
And he had, and not only that,
oh
he had all the like top winning horses.
Like all of them were there. He just hoarded them all to his greedy little self.
Yeah, he's probably making money.
But I'm gonna.
He's probably genetically engineering
him a
lesson.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, lesson he's not gonna forget.
No. He probably genetically engineered those sneaky hooves.
Yeah. I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna use my lasso on him, and I'm gonna breed him with Teddy Roosevelt.
Whoa.
In Minecraft.
Oh, in Minecraft. Hypothetically, in Minecraft.
Hypothetically.
Had me worried for a second.
Yeah. And then we'll make him race.
We'll see how he likes it.
Whenever he fails, I'll bring him to the glue
maybe
factory.
He'll be
in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, hypothetically. If I was to be a bad guy, but I'm not.
We're just spitballing here.
Yeah. I'm just throwing some ideas around.
out there.
Yeah.
That's all. Just saying it would be justified.
There's a couple. Again, we're hitting time, but like there's a couple other games that we've talked about that I like. Again, everyone's talking about Windrose. I'm not gonna lie, I also love a survival crafter game.
Yep.
Yo-ho.
I do think
Survivor builder game.
Fuck with Windrose pretty hard. I think
and that's why I've kind of been holding off on getting it because I know for a fact that I probably would fuck with it, and I'm like,
especially the building and stuff. Is pretty freaking cool.
I've heard it's so good.
Yeah. I've been like really wanting to get back on and like just go get a bunch of trees, chop them down.
Can we do like a co-op like server type thing?
Yeah, I think it's like upwards of 8 people can be on one map. And then
how much is Windrose going for right now?
I think it's like $25.
$25?
Wow.
Get out.
That's
just
saying.
Okay.
I already have a big like the medium level ship right now.
I know you do.
So you could pull up on it.
I get paid in like a couple days, so hear me out. I get paid in a couple of days. I'm gonna set a
Windows
crisp,
fund.
I'm gonna set a crisp 100 for my Steam controller,
and then
the rest is gonna go to Windows. No, I'm kidding. Let's
Hell
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been thinking about. I've heard that it has like a really good aesthetic. Like it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like it's not just like a pirate.
And my favorite part, the sea shanties.
Dude, I've heard
the sea shanties, dude.
I've heard they're so good.
Yeah, they're really.
I've
really
overheard
sick.
them from you playing, and I was like, I love a good sea shanty.
Yeah.
It's my Irish blood. Dude.
Yeah,
I can't get it. I can't get out of it.
Can't help it.
Yeah, I'm over here. I want to do a little jig.
Mm-hmm.
What the thing that I've heard is that like it feels very thematically appropriate. It doesn't feel like pirate cosplay.
Yeah,
it feels like it
feels like you're a pirate,
right?
Going around doing pirate things.
Yeah, in a pirate world.
Yeah, in a pirate world,
which is kind of cool.
Pirate world.
Arr, get down! Arr, get down! I say.
It says that Windrose is $30.
Ooh,
and I can get
it was probably on sale when I bought it.
It probably was, but that's okay. I mean, hey, I like a good survival crafting game.
Them's that die be the lucky ones.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I want to talk in a pirate accent now.
Yeah.
I want to just yo ho.
You
Yo
blundering
ho.
squid! What good are you now?
Yeah. So
Shoot.
anyways, maybe next time you hear us talking about
Yep.
video games, I'll be
next big
playing.
craze
I'll
will
be
be
playing
Windrose.
Windrose on my Steam controller,
We'll
and
be talking about our base on the Bahamas.
We'll be infected with scurvies.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's fun.
Cool.
Anyways, you know how to get in touch with us. We got comment sections on YouTube and on Spotify. If you go on YouTube, you can type in @Hindsight Studios and find the podcast there, where you can subscribe, like, comment, let us know. There's a couple of you guys that we haven't heard from, and I wonder if you guys are still around. I'm talking to you in particular. Haven't heard from you guys, and I want to hear what you guys are thinking. How's it going? How you been? How you been? How you feeling? What kind of games you been playing? Have you been playing anything fun? Anything new? How did you enjoy the recap of our Bleach situation? Because that was a lot.
Yeah.
I know, but I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope everybody else did. So let us know. Share this with someone you think would like it. And until next week, thank you so much for listening.
See you so long.
Bye-bye.